Well, hello there. Today I thought we'd do our makeup and talk a little bit about racism. Why don't you join me? So recently I went to the drugstore and I got a bunch of e.l.f. brushes because I need some more brushes, and e.l.f. brushes are, I'm told they're really good and they're very reasonably priced, and big plus is that they are cruelty free. See the I ordered the camel concealer, which Trixie said is really good. It's supposed to be like a long lasting concealer, 16 hour or something. But I saw this at the drugstore, a hydrating concealer, and as I mentioned before, my skin is very dry, so I thought I should try this. I got the e.l.f. primer infused blush. So I love blush, but the thing about blush is it can if you're wearing it like for a long period of time, it can fade really quickly. So when you first put it on, it's there, it looks really great, but as the day goes by, it's gone. So this apparently it's infused with primer. So see, the packaging is really beautiful, and I am definitely a sucker for packaging. So I mean, when I didn't even realize it was going to be like this. When I took them out of the package, I thought, wow, how pretty. And then I started using it, and then I was like, all right, so let's do our makeup. So the reason why I want to talk about racism today, it's been on my mind so much recently with BLM, Black History. Like I mentioned before, did I mention this before? Well, I want my channel, the reason why I call my channel The Pink Elephant, is I want to be able to address a lot of things that I feel need to be addressed more. Things that we all know are there. It's the pink elephant in the room that no one's talking about. You know, racism, prejudice, sexism, all kinds of judgment. I love the fact that there's such a big movement now with BLM, because it's so needed. You know, we're finally addressing the fact that, hello, we think that we're so woke. We think that we're, it's 2021. We're all aware now that that's not true. There's still so much racism in the world, and not only racism. There's just so much prejudice, there's so much judgment in the world, and we need to stop that. So before I start going on a crazy rant, let me put on some foundation. So I'm using the Nude by Nature foundation. I really hope it does me right this time, and with my new e.l.f. Pointed foundation brush. I mean, the foundation wasn't terrible. I don't know, I guess it didn't stuck out to me in a good way. Like, it didn't really stick out to me in a bad way, but it wasn't like, oh my god, that's amazing. So, and if it's not amazing, then why am I using it? There's a lot of other products out there. So yeah, there's just something, I don't know, can you see that? I don't know, there's just something about it that is not, oh my god, did something just fall off? Well, I'm gonna use the e.l.f. concealer with it. So let's see how that works together. Maybe the e.l.f. concealer will help it. And honestly, I don't even know if the e.l.f. concealer is good itself, because it's the first time for me trying that. But there's just something about this foundation. When I put it on, it doesn't feel like it's good coverage. It feels almost like it's I don't know, it's not covering, it's almost showing more texture. Like, hello, like, the whole point of foundation is to cover. So Nude by Nature, maybe, I mean, it's great that you're cruelty free, but maybe you need to change your formula, and that way your stuff won't go on sale 50% off. Maybe that's why no one's buying it. I don't know. Or maybe they were getting rid of old products, and so they can bring a new line. I don't know. I like the brush. The elf brush is really nice. I like how it's a bit smaller than the foundation brush that I usually use, so I feel like I can kind of get in there in certain parts. But I don't know, I'm really not happy with this. You know what? I'm gonna finish this and I'll be right back. Hi guys. So I am just still not loving this foundation. I don't know what it is. It doesn't seem to spread nicely. Like it just kind of wants to kind of clump in certain areas. Like I had a whole bunch of product just kind of stuck right here, even though I was trying my best to blend it out. So I had to use my finger, which is okay, but I should be able to blend it out with my brush like my other foundation. So I don't know. I'm just not really happy with this. And this is my second round with this foundation, and I don't know. So I'm hoping the e.l.f. Hydrating Concealer is going to save the day and give me some coverage, because this is not giving me any coverage. It's actually enhancing all the texture. So maybe last time it wasn't just the NYX primer. It wasn't just me putting too much NYX primer. Ooh, what am I doing? Maybe it was a combination of me using too much primer. So recently I had a work meeting. So he was talking about BLM, and at the end he asked the team if we had anything we wanted to say, you know, anything we wanted to mention or talk about. So I brought up the fact that I'm really happy that we are, as a people, I mean, not just America, as a people, we are discussing the fact that racism is still very prevalent everywhere, you know? We think we're living in this new age and everybody's all getting along, and there's all these mixed race couples and mixed race kids running around, and everybody's friends with everybody, but it's not true. You know, there's still so much racism out there. Yes, there's a lot of, we have progressed in a lot, but not enough. You know, and I brought up the fact that, especially with COVID, with the pandemic going on, now the Asian community is experiencing so much racism. And I blame it on the fact that the racism was already there to start with. And perhaps the pandemic just gave people more of an excuse and a reason to be even more racist. And, you know, little, you know, someone being rude, someone, you know, showing their a bit of microaggression, all that stuff is one thing. Today's base is not going too well. I mean, I'm pretty sure the people that are going around and being violent, you know, I'm pretty sure a lot of you have heard a lot of these stories where people are being attacked, and a lot of them are the elderly, people that are vulnerable. Some coward thinking he's going to take out his aggression towards someone who can't even defend themselves. People, I believe, were already racist to start with. But the fact that the president of the United States, the former president of the United States, thank goodness, was saying things like calling it the Asian virus and all that stuff. I heard a story about a man in his 90s in California who was pushed down to the ground. This kind, gentle Thai man who hadn't been in America that long. He came over to be with his daughter, to help her with her kids, to be with his grandkids. You know, any young man, I think he was like 18 or something like that, who thinks it's okay to walk up to a complete stranger, an elderly stranger, and push them down to the ground. This person obviously has issues and needs some help as well. I heard a story about an elderly Asian man who was in a 7-Eleven. I believe it was Alzheimer's. And so he was confused, he was lost, he was wandering around, and he found his way to a 7-Eleven, and he was talking to the cashier and I guess trying to explain something to them, but they couldn't understand what he was trying to say because he was speaking in his own language, but who knows. And so he was just standing there talking to this cashier who was trying to understand him but couldn't understand him, and behind him was this white man who got so pissed that this elderly person was wasting time out of his day because he had to go somewhere, or maybe he didn't even have to go somewhere. Maybe he was just mad at the fact that someone was making him wait. Entitlement. And so what did he think that was a good thing to do? He grabbed this man by his collar, like by the back of the neck, dragged him outside of the store and threw him on the concrete. People, like, what is going on here? How do you do that and think it's okay? I'm getting heated just thinking about it. I was raised by my grandparents, so I do have a soft spot for senior. So in my last video, I showed you guys how I did my base, but I also showed you me using the NYX highlight and contour palette. I hadn't played around with it at all, and as I was watching my video back, I had this harsh contour line look. So I'm gonna practice and play a lot more with that, and do another how I do my base video down the road and show you how to use it properly. So today I'm just gonna use my Wonder Stick because I find the Wonder Stick is great for folks who are new to contouring. So, and the reason why I want to bring this up as well is I believe that nowadays, you know, being that we're a lot more accepting, as in us as the human population, but there's still a lot of forms of racism that is considered okay. And the fact that it just kind of gets ignored is saying that we're saying it's okay. So I've experienced before where I'm in a room with a bunch of different cultures, a bunch of different races, and I can clearly see this subtle racism, you know, a joke, an insult, you know, very subtle insult or some form of microaggression toward an Asian person. You know, they kind of laugh it off and take it like it's a joke. You know, oh, these people are just making jokes. You know, obviously they're here with me. They're my friends. They're my colleagues. They don't really actually are, you know, racist towards me. And this is not just coming from white folks. This is coming from people of color. ELF stands for eyes, lips, and face. So this apparently is tinted, so it's supposed to add color. So say if you had like light hair, it'll make your hairs darker. My hairs are already dark, but they're supposed to have some fibers in it too to make your brows look a bit thicker, a bit more bushy. And the ELF Wall Brow is like, I think it was like $5. I swear to God, it's so cheap. And I'm getting so much of my beauty advice from drag queens because of the fact that it's being advertised by the girls So I am not at all happy with my makeup today. I mean, I feel like this foundation is like bringing out the bags in my underneath my eyes. And also I'm not happy with my eyeshadow. I'm really sorry, Nude by Nature, but I was not happy with that shadow. There was so much fallout and not a lot of pigment. It just felt really dry. So I just had to put a giant Amy Winehouse wing and some fake lashes on just to cover up all that mess. Struggle was actually real today. I wasn't even planning on putting on fake lashes because I'm not going anywhere today. I'm literally not going anywhere, like not even to the store. So today I'm going to use the Nude by Nature blush. And hopefully it doesn't disappoint me. So I'm going to use the e.l.f. blush brush. So, ooh, see? I don't know. Just a lot of fallout. I mean, look at that. Oh. That's quite pigmented. I don't know about today's look, guys. I'm looking a little crazy. But that's okay. Makeup washes off. We're just having a bit of fun. Okay, those are two different shapes. So yeah, I just wanted to bring up the racism that I feel is really prevalent toward the Asian community that is not being addressed enough. And I think it's a good time to bring it up, especially with what the world is going through right now with the pandemic. You know what? We've already gone off the rails. So might as well put some highlight on. It's like I'm this crazy lady who's just like sitting in a home doing her makeup, talking to herself. And that's exactly what I am. And that's not a bad thing. So now that we have a full face of makeup on, what do you think? Terrible? I agree. That's okay. So even though I'm not happy with my look, I'm really happy that I got this off my chest. While we're here, spread as much happiness, spread as much love and joy. So I just hope people don't take this, what I'm saying today, in the wrong way. So I think I'm going to go. I'm going to cuddle with my little puppy, Blanco. I think I'm going to watch Murder Amongst the Mormons. It's a new show on Netflix. See, there's even hatred within the Mormon community. I wonder what that's about. So, hang in there, be kind, love each other, and take care. So this is the map that I'm looking at every day for hours and hours of the day. Look how beautiful our world is.